Should I play music?
It'll be okay. They'll just see the background. It's okay. Just so people can kind of see it live on there. It's
Just let me know when you want me to turn down the music, and you guys can make
yeah.
introductions.
We'll do the introduction here in a second. It's
2 minutes. And it's interesting too when the raffles have like 10 numbers, like just the last 3. There's not 1,000 people in the room.
I haven't been 4 weeks ago.
Matching, yeah. Also, whenever I'm doing a raffle, I tell the advisors like, hey, let's keep it fast. Pull it, call it, I'll deliver it, pull and call the next one. We don't need to wait 2 minutes between each poll, and everyone's just sitting around waiting.
yeah. Oh, that's great.
Yeah. You want to introduce it then?
Oh, we got one more. Don't run through the thing though. It's Kristen.
Yes.
Trim. Okay.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you've all enjoyed the food. We're going to go ahead and get the presentation started. I'm Cindi Sanden. I'm the owner of Awaken Travels, and this is Denise Karnes. She is also works with me, and then Crystal is here somewhere, and she also works for us. Oh, she's back there. We're going to start with Rocky Mountaineer and Canyon Spirit tonight. This is Kristen Trim, and she's going to be doing the presentation for us. So, do you have anything else you want to say?
I think Kristen will just go straight into Carson.
Yep.
From AmaWaterways. Carson, yeah. I don't know. Carson. Now you'll see.
Excited to be here.
Yeah,
You reached to Madonna.
Yeah, there we go. She's first, I'm second. There we go. All right.
Okay, do I need to?
All you do is click.
Oh, I just clicked. Okay. There we go. Okay, well, thank you for having me. Thank you, Denise and Cindi and Crystal. It's a pleasure to be here. I am Kristen from Rocky Mountaineer. Who has been on Rocky Mountaineer before? Okay, that's good. Not very many of you. We're going to get there. We're going to get there. So today we're going to go over a lot. But first things first, we are officially Rocky Mountaineer, but our owners have made a brand change. So you're going to see a lot of marketing come out for Canyon Spirit. So our brand change is now we are the Armstrong Collective, and we have Canyon Spirit, which is our American Southwest product, and we also have Rocky Mountaineer, which is our Canadian Rocky product for 35 years. So you're going to see a lot of Canyon Spirit coming out. We're going to look at both of these products today. You're going to fall in love, and you're going to want to get on the train.
The world is full of wondrous paths that shape
sound.
the way you see it. Ones that connect you to not only yourself, but to extraordinary experiences beyond the expected. Armstrong Collective takes you on paths less traveled, bringing you closer to the world's most iconic landscapes through curated experiences. Inspired by our journeys and guided by our passion for travel and hospitality, we create memorable moments, connecting people with places and the stories that shape them. And for over 35 years, we've provided world-class service, immersing our guests in some of North America's most diverse and expansive landscapes. From the Canadian Rockies with Rocky Mountaineer, to the red canyons of the American Southwest on board Canyon Spirit. Each adventure invites you to broaden your horizons, providing unparalleled access to some of the most spectacular natural wonders and a deeper connection to the unfathomable greatness of the world. Armstrong Collective, a world of wonder awaits.
Okay, so we are going to look again at Rocky Mountaineer and our Canadian product today. We have 3 itineraries, and we're going to go over those just a little bit, very briefly. And then we're also going to do a little bit of a deep dive into Canyon Spirit, which is our American Southwest. You are going to see this on Jeopardy. You're going to see this on Netflix. You're going to see this everywhere for 2026, starting in November. So you will know exactly what you're looking at when you see the commercials. So starting with Rocky Mountaineer, who is Rocky Mountaineer? We are a family-owned, 35 years, daylight train experience. So daytime only, you're not going to be sleeping on the train. We don't want you sleeping on the train. Our host will wake you up if you fall asleep on the train. And we are a luxury experience as well. We are not trying to get anywhere fast. We go about 35 to 40 miles an hour. And if there is wildlife, our conductors will stop so that everybody can get some pictures of the moose or the reindeer or bears, whatever you're seeing outside of the windows. We're going to let you take full advantage of that. And our scenery, we take you through scenery that you really just can't get any other way. You can't get there by car, you can't get there by boat, by foot, maybe on a bike. But we take you on the original rails and really take you into extraordinary spaces. So when you're on board with us, we're going to take a look at the experience. It is a very high-end luxury experience. And we cater to you from the moment that we greet you until the moment we say goodbye. And it is a sort of a very celebratory, ceremonial send-off. When you join us on your day number 1, we have bagpipe players. Our whole entire crew greets you. Our stations are absolutely beautiful with coffee and tea and all kinds of donuts. And everybody's mingling and getting to meet each other. And you'll be surprised how many people are there. But we have train cars that we add on, depending on how many guests we have. And it is just a really fun send-off once you're with us. Our dining experience on board is fantastic. Everything has been curated. It is a very upscale experience for you. Linens, china, the whole thing. We wine pair with our meals. Everything's made to order. We have chefs on every train. We have galleys on every train. And we are very well versed with any food allergies that you might have. But as you can see, the dining experience is very luxurious and high-end. The meals are amazing. You have a full menu of about 5 to 8 items. We feed you breakfast on board, lunch, and sometimes dinner if we're a little bit behind. Everything is included. And we pair everything with wine once you're on board with us, or cocktails, or a mocktail if you prefer that. The hosts that are on board and the scenery, our hosts are amazing. They're fun and they're funny. They come back every year. They're from the area. They will know your name in about 1 hour. They will know what you prefer, and they will take care of you like you. They will treat you so well when you're on board with us. The scenery is incredible. And it is sort of like I said, pomp and circumstance. When you board, they roll out the red carpet. It's great for getting some of those pictures. These are some pictures of our hosts. And then the social aspect. When you board the train with us, you don't really know the friends that you're going to make when you get on. And it is sort of, that's me over there. I was traveling by myself, and I thought, I'm just going to sit in a corner and take it all in. And after 2 hours, the whole train was up and moving. These ladies had swooped me in. They were from Jasper and Australia, and they were hilarious. And we still text, right? So you're going to make friends that you didn't really know you needed. And it is a really fun social aspect. So what is included on Rocky Mountaineer is pretty much once you board with us, once you get into town, you are ours. Everything is included, and we're going to take care of you. So we're going to do kind of a deeper dive into that as well. So in Canada, we have 2 services. We have our gold leaf service and our silver leaf service. And we're going to look at our gold leaf service first, because this is what we are truly known for. And these are our custom designed bi-level coaches. They are absolutely gorgeous. So you can see that's a great picture. All of the seating is up on the top level. You have these massive lounge chairs that are leather. Some of them are heated. And then down below you have a full dining service with, like I said, linens, and your chef is right there making everything to order. But you can see our gold leaf cars have this amazing dome. Everything is like 360-degree views everywhere. You're not going to miss anything. And our hosts explain everything as you go along, what you're looking at, how old it is, how it originated, all kinds of history in the areas that you're going through. This is a great shot of our dining room down below. Don't worry, we take half the car down for the first seating and the second half of the car down for the second seating. And then on day 2, we reverse that so nobody feels left out and like, oh, I'm starving, I need food. We've got you food upstairs too. You are literally not going to get off this train hungry at all. We've got you covered. But as you can see, there's a menu for you to choose from. I actually had that salad. It was incredible. I did not have the wine with it, but I wish I could have. The outdoor viewing platform in our Gold Leaf service. We can fit about 15 people out there. It's quite large. So a lot of times the train will slow down when we're going over a massive bridge or some kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Something special. Special that you want to go out and get pictures of, or even wildlife. This is a horrible, horrible picture of me. But I just thought it was kind of fun because you can kind of get some fun angles when you're going around bends. Again, these were friends that I met that would not let me go, and they were lovely, lovely. So you're going to have great social time on the train. You really don't think you are, but you are. We are completely accessible also. So if you have some accessibility needs, we are able to handle those as well. So our Silver Leaf service is the single level coach. I was first on the single level coach in Canyon Spirit, and I actually really fell in love with it. The seats are everything. So you are served at your seat. It's still a menu. Chef is still going to make it, but everything happens in your seat. And the hosts, I'm going to say these are like not the party cars, but they're a little more active, and people are up and moving around quite a bit. But as you can, okay, if you guys do this, these waffles, I don't even eat waffles, but if you go together, you have to both get it, or you will not be married when you get off the train, because they're so, so good. But the blueberries are fantastic, but I'm sugar-coated. Anyway, everything happens at your seat, but you still have the elevated experience of the linens, the china, and everything is served right there. The outdoor viewing platform on Silverleaf cars are smaller. They fit about 4 people. So just keep that in mind, because when you do go over something super cool, everybody's going to go out there. But you can also take great pictures from your domed car, and they are still domed. You're not going to miss anything if you don't go Gold Leaf service. So our most popular itinerary is First Passage to the West. Most of our itineraries start or lands in Vancouver, and most of them go through Kamloops. That's sort of where we junction off and do different routes. And then this particular itinerary takes you to Banff and Lake Louise. Who has been to Banff and Lake Louise? Yeah, that is a must-do bucket list location for you to visit. It is beautiful. You can see right here, we are able to extend also down to Calgary, and we also go over to Edmonton, depending on which itinerary you decide to do. But the scenery on this route is absolutely spectacular. You're hugging the Fraser River. You see when the rivers meet, the Silt River that moves into the Fraser River. That's all brash ice from the glaciers, and it's a very cool visual to see. But of course, Lake Louise is stunning. The water's like a color I've never seen before. We are partnered with all of the Fairmont hotels, so if that is something that you're interested in, highly recommend it. But they are all world famous and just absolutely beautiful. Again, there's my friends. In Banff, there's tons of things to do. It is a darling little town. Kamloops is also darling, but you're going to be a little bit tired when you get there because you are on the train for about 10 to 11 hours, right? And train travel is very popular. Again, we're not trying to get anywhere quickly. That's what you're paying for. You're paying for the luxury of this train experience. So this was off the back of the Fairmont Hotel in Banff Springs. And then shopping, of course, Banff has some hot springs that are absolutely lovely. The gondola is included in a lot of our packages. It is spectacular. You can see literally everything. It is gorgeous. Those are some pictures that I took from up on top. There's a very large structure up there. I think it's 4 levels. Beautiful restaurants. There's trails everywhere. You can walk up there if you want to, but I suggest taking the gondola. And then we have some tours that take you all through Banff, all the way down to Calgary, and that's Bow River right there, which sort of is the main river in the Banff area. Okay, our second most popular is Journey Through the Clouds, and this again starts in Vancouver, overnights in Kamloops, and then goes up to Jasper. A lot of people have asked about the Jasper fires. They are recovering from those. 2 of the ladies that I met, their homes burnt down. Those were the 2 that were having fun on the train with me. And Rocky Mountaineer has actually donated $5 million to Jasper to help rejuvenate everything, and they want you there. They are looking for tourists, they're rebuilding, they want you there. And I don't know if any of you have ever experienced burn areas. I come from San Diego, we were evacuated 3 times, but there is a special beauty. I don't mean this in a bad way, but when there is a natural disaster like a fire, the regrowth that's sort of juxtaposed to what has been burnt down is actually really, really beautiful, and it is something to see. So Jasper, of course, takes you, you'll get to see Mount Robson. I had some of my teammates on this itinerary last week, and they were sending pictures left and right because the mountain was out, and it was gorgeous. Our third most popular is Rainforest to Gold Rush. I think I would really like this one. This one has a lot of history, if you're a history buff, about the gold rush. Our hosts on board, like I said, amazing storytellers. You're gonna have a good time. But this one goes from Vancouver, overnights in Whistler, overnights in Quesnel, and then drops off in Jasper. And again, this can be extended if you would like to go over to Edmonton or down to Lake Louise, Banff, and then to Calgary. But again, you're gonna have this amazing scenery that you're just not going to be able to see any other way. Okay, FIFA is coming to Vancouver in June of 2026. So we are halting all itineraries in and out of Vancouver because your hotel room will probably be $5,000 a night. I don't know what crazy people are going there, but they're going there. So we have created an itinerary called Passage to the Peaks, which I am hoping that we get to keep this one because the whole entire itinerary is in the Canadian Rockies. Like, it's the heart of everything. It is the beauty. And it's going from Jasper, overnighting into Kamloops, and then departing in Banff. Just a great itinerary for the scenery. Again, you can extend over to Edmonton or down to Calgary on either end, and your travel advisors can sort of help you pick the right package for you. I do just want to say Calgary is great. I had never been to Calgary. There's a lot of things to do there. Stevens Avenue is fun. The eye in the sky, what do you call that thing? You know, the tall thing. Let's just call it the tall thing. Is there, and you can experience all kinds of cool things in Calgary. Jasper also has a gondola, which would be amazing. I saw a lot of pictures from that, and of course Jasper is filled with all kinds of wildlife. You are to go and not see something. They're out all the time. So you would have a great trip there. We also take you to the Columbia Ice Fields if that's something that you're interested in. We're partnered, and it is an extraordinary experience to go out there. Absolutely beautiful with stunning, picturesque visuals all around you. And then we've got also the glass bridge that you're able to walk out onto. I'm not sure about that, but I think a lot of people really do love it. It could be cool. This is just a visual of how many packages we do have. So again, your travel advisors, whatever you think is going to suit you the best. You want to be there for 15 days, we have got you covered. You only want to do 5, we've got you covered. So we have all kinds of options for you that will work within your time frame and your budget. I do just want to mention that we are partnered with fantastic hotels. And my favorite thing about Rocky Mountaineer is you never have to lift your luggage. The minute we pick you up from you check into your hotel, the luggage is out of your hands. We will motor coach it to your next overnight. put it in your room, and when you're on board with us, we will hand you your hotel key. You don't have to check in. You just go straight to your room. And then the next morning you leave your luggage there, same thing, you board, and we will transport your luggage to the next location. So again, elevated experience, but we do have different levels of hotels that we are partnered with. They're all amazing. They're all amazing. They're 3, 4, and 5-star hotels. They love Rocky Mountaineer guests. They take extraordinarily good care of you. And these are just a couple images of the hotels. I actually stayed in the Ptarmigan Inn. It was amazing. Great restaurant. Banff is adorable. You will love it. So that is Rocky Mountaineer as a whole. And when we're done, if you guys have questions, feel free to ask. But we're now going to take a look at Canyon Spirit. So Canyon Spirit, our company, put into action in 2021, right after COVID, right? They had no expectations. Who does something right after COVID? We did. They sent $1 gazillion into it, and it is a great, great experience. We take you from we explore all of the American Southwest. We take you from Denver into Glenwood Springs, into Moab. You can either go to Las Vegas. We are now extending up to Salt Lake City, and then you can also go into Yellowstone. We are expanding almost month by month. So you do have 2 options in the American Southwest. You can either be on the train for 2 days, or you can do the 3-day journey. Highly recommend the 3-day journey. That's what you're paying for. You're paying to be on that train, and it is amazing. So we're gonna look at this onboard experience for just a minute. Who can guess why we only have the single level dome cars in the United States?
No tunnels.
Very good. The tunnels here are not tall enough. So we work with just our single level dome cars. And again, everything happens in the car. It's still an elevated experience. We still have kitchens on board. We still have our chefs on board. Everything is made to order. But you can see that there's plenty of room. I just thought these were good pictures. You can see there's plenty of room to move around, to get up and walk around. Again, you're going to make friends. You're going to be needed. But we also have 2 experiences on Canyon Spirit. So we have our signature experience, where you are just sort of confined to your rail car, but 65 people fit in there. They are quite large. Like, you don't realize how big they are until you get in there. And they are quite large. And so everything, again, happens at your seat. You're going to have linens. Our bar service is, making sure you're happy all day long. You're not going to get off this train and be hungry. And you'll probably just want to go snuggle in because it is a long day. Again, you're on the train for, 10 to 11 hours. You've got the platforms out the back, all kinds of fun experiences. And then we also have our Premier upgrade. So this is newer. We have built train cars that are lounge cars. So if you do the Premier upgrade, you will have access to 2 lounge cars, which gives you the ability to walk around and walk from car to car. And it is kind of pretty, it's pretty cool to be able to do that. We have 2 different styles of cars. One's a little bit more traditional, has a piano in it, and the other one is a little bit more contemporary. I highly recommend this. We have mixology specialists in these cars. We have elevated extra snacks that are very nice in these cars. Like, you need more food, but you do. You don't know you do, but you do. So it is a great experience. Okay, all of our menus are curated by our very handsome chef, our executive chef, Caleb. And you can see on American Southwest in Canyon Spirit, you also will have menus at your seat. So you'll have a wide variety. Everything has been curated. Everything's locally sourced. It's very thematic to what the American Southwest is. You're going to see like gray short ribs and mashed potatoes and empanadas and tamales, things like that. But the menu is fantastic, and it's a lot of food. So we're going to start you off in Denver. Has anybody been to Denver lately? It's kind of a bustle and hopping town. There's a lot to do there, so we give you a full day there to sort of explore. All kinds of foodies. You can go to Red Rocks for a concert, which is not very far away. You've got sports there, all kinds of things to do, live music everywhere. And the hotels that we've partnered with are fantastic. They're all within a block of Union Train Station, the Denver Union Train Station, which is a huge coup for this year because we finally, it took 4 years, we were able to partner with the Denver Union Station, and it is Just a beautiful way to watch the train come in and watch the train leave. People come and watch it. It's kind of like Hogwarts, you know, it's very beautiful and ceremonial when it comes in and goes. But Union Station is also beautiful. There's a lot to do in there. There's shopping, dining, got some cool bars. And again, you can see sort of the same red carpet treatment. You're going to have your ticket. Your hosts are going to greet you when you get on. And it is just a fun time. So it's interesting. I live in San Diego, but I was born in Nebraska. So my kids always preferred to drive from San Diego to Nebraska for 24 hours in the car. But we would drive this drive, and we had names for all the rock formations, which aren't the real names, I've come to find out. But, you know, I didn't know all of this existed. So you're going to be able to see all of these locations and experience this wilderness and the scenery. The only way you can do it is on the train. So you're going to go through the Big Ten curve, which apparently is an engineering feat. I still don't understand it, but it was very cool. You're going to go through the Moffat Tunnel, which is it's the longest tunnel, 6 miles. So it takes you over the Continental Divide. So you kind of go, when you go in, you're sort of in an arid area. It's very dry, not very many mountains, and you pop out in Winter Park, where it's just completely different topography. It's absolutely beautiful. You know, you've probably been there. But then we take you through Glenwood Canyon and over through Byers Canyon. And it's just an amazingly gorgeous area that you really can't see any other way. We do hug the river, the Colorado River. I could tell you a story about that. I'm not sure I should. We call it Moon River, because there's a lot of mooning that goes on from the rafters. You just kind of go like that, and you don't have to look at it. The first night we overnight in Glenwood Springs. Has anybody been to Glenwood Springs? Yeah, it is adorable. You have to go there. There is tons to do. You can see the train rolls in, and again, people come out from everywhere. We are partnered with fantastic hotels in Glenwood Springs. The Hotel Colorado is a favorite one of my entire family. It's haunted, but it's big and old, and they have redone all the rooms for the Rocky Mountaineer guests, and they're beautiful. It's like walking into an apartment. It's absolutely beautiful, and everything's within walking distance. There's concerts in the park. There's all kinds of fun things to do there. You've got the North America's largest hot springs there, so that's absolutely amazing. And there's a few more that are smaller, sort of cater to like if you want Epsom salts or, you know, all kinds of different, they have like 10 different options for you. And then Dog Holiday Tavern is a local hotspot for drinks. So again, all kinds of fun things to do. You're going to get there a little bit later. You're probably going to get there around 5:30 or 6. You're probably not going to be hungry, but you're going to have fun walking around and doing some things. And then the next day when we board the train again, it's bright and early, 7 a.m. And we're going to move out of Glenwood Springs and sort of that pine topography, and we're going to move into sort of a flatter, more rocky area. And now we're going through vineyards, we're going through peach orchards. Chef Caleb has incorporated all of those wines and the peaches into his menu. My mom's favorite peaches, Colorado peaches. But you're going to get to see all of that firsthand, and it really is truly beautiful as we move into Moab. So Moab, of course, the hot stop. We've got the 5 national parks there, the Big 5. It's a great town to walk around. Our hotels are right there, easy access to everything. We do have a package that is the Mighty 5 Explorer. If you are a national park enthusiast, next year is our 250th anniversary. National parks are going to be hot. People are going to want to travel domestically. This is a great product to get on, and we have some fantastic deals going on right now. We do partner with the Moab Adventure Center, so we have a few curated excursions that are built into some of our packages. But for things like hot air balloon riding or going down the river or things that you would like to do on your own, we've partnered with the Moab Adventure Center, and they have about 300 plus excursions that you can choose from. Of course, one of them is Arches National Park. We did that. There's all the parks. They have excursions to all the parks. Highly recommend. These parks are unique and beautiful, and there's storytelling that goes with them. We did the Hummer morning sunrise excursion, and this was our team. Okay, there we are. There's the Hummer in the background. That's what it looks like. You're in mountains, you're in terrain that you cannot get to any way. No way, except for on these Hummers or like a motorcycle or something. And you're sitting out the back. It is so fun and so cool. And Craig here was our driver. And so we put our lives in his hands, and he had been driving those hills for 50 years, he said. And he had all kinds of cool stories. But it really is just you would have to take ibuprofen because you do bounce around a lot. But it is a really fun experience, and you get to have views like that you would not see any other way. Arches National Tour at night, Moab has very low light pollution, so the stars in the sky are just going to be on fire. We don't get to see that really anywhere else. It is beautiful. And then from Moab, we're going to take you into Salt Lake City. So the terrain from Moab to Salt Lake City changes, it shifts, and if you've ever seen Lord of the Rings, it's very much like that. The rocks are very much like that. They sort of welcome you into Salt Lake City, and there's a lot to do there. They've got the salt flats, they've got rodeos, they have live music all over the place, total foodie town, tons of things to do, and our hotel partners are amazing. We are the Grand American Hotel, the Little America, and then we also just partnered with Arthur Ashby, which is where all the famous people stay. And it's I think it was one of their Union stations that they've retrofitted into a hotel, and it is very eccentric and unique and a cool vibe and cool experience. So for next year, we are expanding into Yellowstone. So we have a package that is the Yellowstone Explorer. Just some pictures of the area. We won't focus too much on those, but that is a great option if you do want to extend. So for promotions, we are honoring our 250th anniversary, and we have $250 off per person for any of our Canyon Spirit experiences, 2-day or 3-day. You will hands down love it. And then if you have traveled with us before, we have a travel again promotion of either $1,500 off per couple or $2,000 off per couple, depending on if you do the signature experience or the premier upgrade. And that is all I have. Thank you. That was a lot. So if you guys have questions.
Was it straight in?
What?
Is that straight in from the hour?
Oh my gosh, you have no idea. Yeah, I mean, we were like, you could almost touch behind you on the ground. It was bananas. Yeah. And he had no fear. He just was, which one?
2 more questions.
Oh, yeah.
Would you like to ask?
What?
A couple more questions.
Oh, yeah. Anybody else have any questions? Yes.
If you're in Canada, do you have passports and all that kind of stuff?
Yes. Yes.
You got pretty shots of just.
Any other questions? So I think we're doing a drawing at the end. Yeah. My giveaway basket is the, we have a cocktail on Canyon Spirit called the Moffat Mule. It's a Rocky Mountain take on Moscow Mule. So I'm sorry, it is not Tennessee bourbon or whiskey, but it is Colorado whiskey, and all the ingredients are good. So that's my basket. That will be very delicious.
Okay, if you've got, your trip goes from here to there.
Yeah.
How do you get back to there?
So you will fly into Vancouver and you will fly out of Calgary. So you'll do
there's-
2 1
Those
ways.
kind of arrangements are obvious, okay.
Yeah.
I haven't tried this before, so I'm asking.
No, great question. He was asking, it's not a round trip. It's not a round trip. You will fly into one location depending on which way, if you're going eastbound or westbound, and then you'll fly out of your end location. Good question.
All right, we'll have some more time for Q&A at the end.
Did I go through?
I'm Carson. I'm with AmaWaterways. We're shifting from rails to the rivers. And before I begin, I always like to do this. How was the food? How was the wine? Round of applause for our host for putting this all together. And their families volunteered tonight to support this whole event. So thank you. Thank you, ladies, for putting this together. Before I begin, I just want to say I have 30 minutes to talk about so many things. So I'm going to be moving quickly, and we will have time for Q&A at the end for both AmaWaterways River Cruises and for Rocky Mountaineer. I used to work for that company, fantastic brand. I can also speak to them too and tell you some fun anecdotes about the ventures there. How many of you have been on a river cruise? Any river cruise? Okay. How many of you have heard of AmaWaterways before you were invited to tonight's event? Oh, that's more than usual. A lot of people are not familiar with AmaWaterways. We are the world's second largest river cruise company that no one's heard of because we don't do direct advertising like the other guys. So you're not going to be seeing our commercials after Downton Abbey. You're probably not getting 1,000 postcards in the mail every week. Everything we do is word of mouth. So thank you for being here tonight and learning a little bit more about us. All right, so AMA, it's not AMA, it's AmaWaterways. AMA is Latin or Greek or whatever it is for love. We are the company that is built on connections and relationships. And I know that sounds fuzzy-wuzzy, but at the end of the day, that is what makes travel special, is the connections made. To her point earlier, is about the new friends you make along the travels and the journey, not necessarily the destination. The most important factor that sets us apart from everyone else out there is our people. The staff and the crew on board the ships are absolutely fantastic. I can promise you, you will have incredible service. Another point to point out too, is that we don't do really any direct business. Everything we do is through the advisor community. And so by extension, these ladies are part of our family. And even though we might have you for about 7 nights on board our cruises, you know them and you grow that relationship with your trusted travel advisor for years. And so it really is about that relationship and about that trust.
Step aboard a world of exceptional experiences, where your journey is our passion. Allow us to share villages that time forgot. Walk along cobblestone streets filled with crystal lights. Paddle through historic town squares and revel in moments that last a lifetime. When you step aboard AmaWaterways, each day brings a genuine smile that warms the heart. Every river a new culture that inspires, and each course a moment to savor and share. Experience these wonders and delights with AmaWaterways, the heart of the river.
So first thing to point out, we have been complaining to marketing for a long time. Gentlemen, you do not have to wear blazers and ties. Ladies, you don't need the Queen Elizabeth hats and ballroom gowns that you just saw in that video. Smart casual. Everyone here is dressed appropriately to travel on board our ships. I just want to point that out. The nice lady narrating that particular piece, her name is Karnes. She's one of the 3 co-founders that started AmaWaterways back in '02. That's her pictured on the left side there. Her husband, Rudy Schreiner, was just named Godfather of River Cruising, Lifetime Achievement Award. He started river cruising back in 1992 with the opening of the Danube Mine Canal. He was president at Viking. She was vice president of sales at Viking. This wasn't a Coldplay situation, if you guys know what I'm talking about, but they broke off and they created a company, a river cruise experience that they themselves would enjoy. We are family owned and operated, and that's huge. Really, at the end of the day, the most important person in the room is you. Because we don't do direct advertising, because everything we do is word of mouth, we need you and want you to have an incredible experience. Because when you come home after your vacation with us, what are you going to do? You're going to tell friends, family, neighbors, oh my gosh, we had a great time. We were on board AmaWaterways. Oh, I've never heard of them. Yeah, they were great. Hey, we're going next year. How about you come with us? By the way, we've got a great travel advisor that we're working with that we'd love to introduce you to. And that's how that relationship has grown. That's how we've become the world's second biggest out there. For those of you that haven't done river cruising, I'd say that's about half of you in the room, you've probably done oceans. Oceans and rivers are very different. This is the conversion point right here. Oceans take you to the countries, rivers take you through them. River cruising is a far more immersive experience. It's destination focused. Try to conceptualize these ships more like floating hotels instead of floating casinos. The idea is to get you off the ship, go into town, and experience these destinations more like a traveler and less like a tourist. And I'll get into that shortly. Everyone knows that Europe is the hotspot for river cruising. Nobody knows or really thinks about why that's the case. Thousands of years ago, these little villages with huts called Paris and Budapest and Vienna started growing along the riverbanks. And they turned into the world cities they are today because they were on the rivers. Rivers brought civilization. So technically speaking, all the places you want to visit on the interior of Europe are going to be on a river. We do all of Europe, including little Portugal down here, and we also have our 4 exotics, which I'll touch on briefly. So why AmaWaterways? What makes us different? What are those distinctive features? And more importantly, what are the questions you should be asking your fellow travel advisor when you're shopping around for a river cruising experience? What do you need to look for? First and foremost, and I've already touched on this before, unparalleled service. Luxury has been redefined. 10, 15 years ago, luxury was defined by granite countertops, marble columns, the heated towel racks in the bathrooms. Nowadays, luxury is defined by service, personalization, connection. The software, not the hardware. Our teams on board the ship really make you feel like a regular at your favorite restaurant or your favorite bar or your favorite coffee shop that I know some of you go to once a week, yes? Really, we make you feel like that you're in our home, you're a guest in our home, and a member of our family. I don't have too many times for anecdotes tonight. This is my one big one. This has been a story that's been circulating within the company for the past 2-3 months. We had a lady on board our ship, don't know where she's from, don't know any other details around that, and she was very disappointed the first night on board the ship at dinner. She was very upset that we didn't have Diet Mountain Dew available for drinking, and she insisted that she has Diet Mountain Dew with every dinner. Does anyone know why we don't have Diet Mountain Dew on our ships? Other than the obvious. It's illegal in Europe. The ingredients in Diet Mountain Dew are illegal in Europe, for whatever reason they're illegal here, and you can't buy it there. The server was having this conversation with this nice lady, and the maitre d' was standing right behind them, and they overheard it. They knew that we had an executive member of our team flying in from Malibu, California, into Budapest the next day. Quick text, quick phone call to them, hey, grab a 6-pack of that Diet Mountain Dew, bring it in your luggage. The next night, night number 2, the lady had a can and a champagne flute with the radioactive green stuff in it, and she was so happy. And because it was a 7-night cruise, 6-pack, she had a Diet Mountain Dew every dinner the rest of the cruise. Now, I'm not promising that to any of you guys. That's a big story, but it really goes to show, even though I'm showing you hoity-toity stuff and fancy foods and fancy wines, at the end of the day, we're there for your experience. You know, if you want a Diet Mountain Dew, we're not going to scoff at you. We're not going to say, oh, no, you should try the Chevrolet Blanc 95. It's really about the experience and the relationship and making you comfortable. Because this is a very sophisticated style of service in a very casual atmosphere. Why do we travel? You're all here for a very singular purpose, to learn more about travel. I've been here in Chattanooga many times. There's incredible restaurants. There's some great hotels downtown that I've stayed at. What makes you all jump in a tin can and fly across the ocean to go somewhere else? It's this. The cultural exchange is at the heart of travel. It's why we do that. Learning why other cultures do things the way they do, how they talk, how they dance, how they eat, how they drink, how they live. So if this is at the heart of travel, it better be authentic. It better be real. It better be genuine when you choose the company to travel with. What the cultural exchange looks like on board the ship comes in the form of either entertainment or lectures. The gentleman on the bottom left here is a regionally renowned pianist out of Paris. He's on Spotify, he's quite famous. You can look him up if you want. He is not the chef who's off duty, who took piano lessons as a kid for your evening entertainment. And yes, I have heard those stories. The cultural exchange off the ship happens in the form of shore excursions. Every shore excursion is included in your fare. It's not how much it takes to get on the ship, it's how much it takes to get off. And for those of you that have river cruised before, and for those of you that have done oceans in the past, I know at least a few of you know what it's like to start getting off the ship, day of disembarkation, and you get handed the bill. And you, honey, how did we rack up the bill like this? With AmaWaterways, there's only 4 things you can pay for on board the ship. I promise I'll get to those in just a bit. All the shore excursions are included. It looks like this, typically 2 or 3 options in the morning, 2 or 3 options in the afternoon/evening. And within those options, we offer gentle, normal, and active pace. So not only do you get to pick what you want to do, you get to pick how you go about doing it. And with our ships, an average size of a ship is 150 guests. We max out at 160. What that means is it breaks everyone down into small groups of about 9 to 13 people on average. Again, we're all about making sure that you feel like a traveler and not a tourist. Imagine taking this picture right here in this vineyard. That's the local guide. For those of you with your eye exam, you can look at this. It's the lady with the little red lollipop and the pink shirt. Imagine 30 or 40 people between you taking this picture and the local guide. Yes, all the cruise lines out there have that little thing you stick in your ear and you can hear what the guide is saying from 50 feet away. But if you can't interact with them, you might as well be taking a self-guided tour with a recording buzzing in your ear. By being able to lean in and interact with the local guide, ask the questions you care about, they're able to customize these experiences based on what the people in their group want to see, what they want to talk about, what they want to do. And so, of course, the shore excursions are the best way to experience these cultures. Why should it be canned? It has to be authentic. It has to be genuine. Best part about this too, we know this is your vacation. We want it to be your way. At the end of the shore excursion, the local guide's going to say, all right, everyone, that's it. I'm really glad to have met you. If you want to go back to the ship, follow me. If you guys want to stay here and shop, dine, eat, drink, whatever you want to do, I recommend that bar. That's a good restaurant over there. Stay away from that guy. He's going to be overpriced. And when you're ready, follow the clock tower, turn right, you'll find the river, and you look left and right, you find the ship, right? So that you have that free time to do these things the way you like to do them. So AmaWaterways is all about building that structure that's designed to be broken, depending on how you guys like to choose your own adventure. All right, so let's talk about the food. I was smelling that garlic bread when I walked in today. I'm sure many of you did too. The food is incredible on board these ships. I can promise you that because we're Chandé Rotisserie certified. That means nothing to us Americans, but in Europe it's a big deal. It's an exclusive culinary club. You have to be invited into it. And why I'm telling you this is that it attracts the best talent in Europe to leave their restaurants for a season and come work on board our ships at our world-class restaurants. So not only are you getting great food, not only are we attracting great talent, but when they're done for the season, when they go home, when they go back to their restaurants, some of which they own their restaurants, they can tout that they've worked Chandé Rotisserie, and their business increases as well. So we're always about that winning equation in all of our decisions. We are the only river cruise line that doesn't have freezers on our ships. Everything is cooked from scratch, organic, farm to table. We can tell you the name of the chicken. We can tell you the name of the farmer. We have pre-breakfast, breakfast, post-breakfast, morning tea, morning snacks, pre-lunch, lunch, after-lunch snacks, high tea, tapas in the afternoon, sip and sail cocktail hour, which is an open bar, 1 hour before dinner every day, and then there's dinner. And then for those of you that want to party and dance late at night on the lounge, on the dance floor, we have late night snacks. Unlimited beer and wine for lunch. Unlimited beer and wine for dinner. Open bar for that sip and sail cocktail hour. And then, of course, unlimited mimosas and fresh squeezed juices for breakfast. I promised you the 4 things that you can pay for on board the ship. Number 1, drinks between meals. Does anyone know why we don't include that in the fare? because no one's on the ships between meals. You're doing shore excursions. And if you really want to booze up in the morning, pick the wine tasting extension. If you really want to enjoy some whiskey in the afternoon, pick the whiskey tasting shore excursion in the afternoon. So if you want to do a cocktail, if you happen to stay on board the ship, Bombay Sapphire, Tito's, that kind of stuff, $8, $9. We're not going to really nickel and dime you. We're basically giving it to you at cost. Second thing that you can pay for is laundry. Third thing you can pay for is the gift shop. It's the size of a cubicle. You can get AmaWaterways garb and some locally made jewelry. It's quite nice. And then fourth and final is the spa, the hair salon, the nail salon, etc. Those are the only 4 things you can spend money on board the ship. Remember, you get so much value when you purchase an AmaWaterways experience. Let's talk about the fleet. Every single ship in Europe is the exact same size. Does anyone know why? Locks. And I like this guy over here. Whenever I ask this question, I see the hands start flipping and flapping and people are dancing, trying to describe what a lock is. The easiest way to describe a lock, an elevator for the river. Ship goes in, doors close behind you, and the water rises or sinks, and you pop out the other side at a different level. Every lock's the same size. Every ship is the same size. It's what you do with that size that matters. The other guys out there on a same size ship max out at 190 guests. We max out at 160. That's 30 less people on the ship, 15 less staterooms, more room for amenities, more room for specialty dining, and more importantly, the golden ratio of 1 to 3 staff to guests that allow us to give you that really personalized experience that you look for when you travel with us. So where do we go? I've already talked a lot about Europe. We also do South Africa. Vietnam and Cambodia, Colombia and Egypt. If any of you are looking for something a little bit more unique and getting carried away by mosquitoes the size of birds or being chased by monkeys in Cambodia, there's no better way to do it than river cruising, because after all that, after the humidity and the stickiness of it all, you go right back to your ship with air conditioning, food that's not going to make you sick, and all the luxuries of home. We also do land packages, not just cruises, right? So we call them pre and post experiences. Oftentimes, if you're flying all the way out somewhere, you want to spend a little bit of time ahead or behind, and we want to take care of you with that. The one thing that really sets us apart with the land experiences is that the cruise manager will be with you, holding your hand on the pre, on the cruise, and or the post. So you have that AmaWaterways experience, even though you may not necessarily be on the ship. So again, today I'm highlighting 2 very special groups that these gals have put together. I'm going to give you a very high-level summary of what that looks like. The first group I'll highlight is the Colors of Provence. This is on board the Ama Cristina, and it sails from Lyon to Arles, and it's September 24th through October 1st of next year. So basically a year from now, which is the sweet spot for looking at it, booking it, and getting the best staterooms that you guys are looking for. France is a beautiful place, lots of rivers to do. We're focusing on that bottom part with that red arrow. This is the itinerary. You're starting in Lyon, and you're finishing down in Avignon and in Arles. And if you guys want to hang out in Cannes or the French Riviera, it's right there at the end of the cruise. Lyon is the culinary capital of France. You can have Paris. I've been there enough times. I know that Paris is a beautiful place for a day or two, but really if you want good food, and I believe the highest Michelin stars per capita is going to be in Lyon. If you're a culinary foodie, you will love this particular place. One of the shore excursions, you're going to be eating, okay? You're going to go to a deli, and you're going to try 5 different sausages with red wine. Then after the deli, you're going to walk down the street, and you're going to go to a cheese place. You're going to have 5 different cheeses and a white wine. And then at the end, you're going to have a little cake torte kind of stand. No wine with this. You're going to have a hot tea or some coffee so that you can get back to the ship. So again, that's what the experience looks like. And you're going to meet this gentleman. And you are going to get that kind of thing where you walk into the restaurant, we've closed it down for an hour, and it's just us. It's about that exclusivity. It's, again, feeling like you're a member of their family, kind of like today where we take over a place and we all have a good time. That is what you can expect with AmaWaterways. Truffle farm visit. They don't use pigs anymore to hunt down the truffles. Does anyone know why? The pigs eat them. The dogs don't. They're well trained. They're well behaved. So you can go out with the farmer, hunt down some truffles, try them yourself, and of course, have some wine with it. Avignon, the city of popes. It was the seat of the papacy back in the 15th century. I believe 14 popes were here. So before Rome, before the Vatican, you had Avignon. Lots of Roman architecture here, the famous aqueducts, beautiful area, and then of course Arles. If there's any art lovers, Arles is where it's at. Van Gogh lived here. This is the famous Yellow Cafe painting, and the cafe does exist. Again, lots of Colosseums, lots of history, lots of UNESCO heritage sites. If any of you are not familiar with UNESCO, basically it's a world organization that goes in and says, this place is beautiful. It represents culture from centuries ago. So if you own an apartment in this place and you want to put solar panels up there because you're trying to be green, they won't let you because they didn't have solar panels on the roof back in the 14th century. So you're stepping back in time. You really feel like you're going back in time when you go to these places because they're so incredibly well preserved. And then, of course, if you want to spend a little bit of time ahead, you can spend some time in Paris, 3-night land package. And then, of course, at the end, if you want to spend some time in Barcelona, Spain, we'll throw 3 nights together for you. Barcelona, again, lots of wine, lots of food, and incredible time. Has anyone been to Barcelona? No? A few of you? Yeah? Would you thumbs up it? Yeah? Okay. Awesome. So that is the Colors of Provence. Group that I'm highlighting, number 1. Group number 2 is iconic Christmas markets. This is plenty of time to plan, guys. I certainly hope all of you have Christmas plans for this year. Some of you might have Christmas plans for 2026. I almost guarantee nobody's got plans for 2027. And if you do, good for you. I recommend you jump on this cruise and you'll still make it in time for Christmas, December 4th through 11th in 2027. Why would I travel from Chattanooga to somewhere else cold in December? It's because the Christmas markets are absolutely fantastic over there. They're authentic, they're real. Santa Claus in Europe does not wear red and white. He wears all kinds of colors. Does anyone know why Santa Claus in the United States wears red and white?
Coca-Cola.
Do you guys have a Coca-Cola factory here? Oh, that's why you guys know. A lot of people don't know this. Back in the 30s, Coca-Cola was having a hard time selling ice-cold soda in the winter. And so they recruited Santa Claus to help them with that. And ever since then, Santa Claus has worn Coca-Cola colors. Isn't that fascinating? So when you go to Europe, Santa Claus wears purple, blue, green, all those different colors. Let's watch a short video.
On board AmaWaterways, beautiful river cruise ships in Europe, the holiday season begins from the middle of November. Any guest who joins us during the second half of November and through the new year will step inside a seasonal wonderland filled with magic on more than 20 unique holiday cruise itineraries. Whether embarking in Germany, France, Portugal, Hungary, or Romania, festive activities and traditional delights await around every corner of the ship. With tree trimming, gingerbread decorating, Christmas caroling, and a visit from a special someone on every departure. Whether or not snow is falling outside the ship, and no matter how many Christmas markets you have the pleasure of visiting on shore, an AmaWaterways holiday cruise is always filled with warmth and cheer. Join us on board next season.
We've got the Coca-Cola Santa Claus on the ship. 95% of our guests are from here in the United States, a few from Canada. We've got a few from UK, and if you're lucky, you'll have some Aussies on board. And if any of you have traveled with Aussies, you know that's always a good time. We continuously win Best Decorated Ships of the Year. We really go wild with the lights on the exterior, on the interior. Halfway through your cruise, we're going to ask you to put your little white slippers that we give you out in the hallway so the little elves can stuff it with toys and treats and stuff in the morning. It's been a while since I've sat on a grown man's lap, but I sat on Santa's lap, as will all of you, and you'll give Santa Claus your Christmas wishes. Contests on board, decorating the best Christmas tree, caroling. It's really a wonderful time. This particular cruise is reverse of what this is. So you're going to start in Budapest and you're going to finish in Nuremberg. So interestingly enough, Budapest is now my favorite European city. It was never on my radar. I don't know if any of you have been to Budapest. I went there last summer. I took my mom on a cruise. I was single at the time. That's why that happened. And definitely scored some brownie points with that. She cried at the end. She's like, Carson, all my friends on Facebook say their kids don't take them on cruises. It was a wonderful time. But she and I had a fantastic time in Budapest. Very clean, lots of layers of history, a fantastic place. So you will be starting in Budapest. Passau, Germany is an incredible representation of the Disneyland gingerbread fairy tale German experience. St. Stephen's Cathedral has the world's largest organ. And hopefully when you're there, they can play a little bit of it for you. You can walk across this town in about 20 minutes. Excellent shopping, beautiful little colored homes. It's kind of like the Venice of Central Europe. It's just beautiful. The people are very friendly, unlike Venice, and you will have a fantastic time. We also go to Vienna. Vienna is an incredible place. The Renaissance, right? You have so much wealth over so many centuries flowing into Vienna. You can see it clearly with the architecture, the music. Back in the day, right, Mozart, a lot of these famous artists, they were actually quite poor. And how they got along, instead of toiling in the fields for money, they would sit around and play on the piano and create these incredible orchestras. It was an honor and a privilege to be a rich person in Vienna and say, Mozart, come stay with me and my family for a summer. Write your music, I'll take care of all of your needs. And that was how they really created art. Artists, musicians, everyone, they went to Vienna, and that's why it's at the heart of Renaissance, of art and music. Budapest, okay, again, Budapest is an incredible place. When communism was a thing and they were behind the Iron Curtain, interesting fact about Budapest, they were the only city in Europe that the Soviets were kind of nice to, because they didn't put up with the Soviets. This city was allowed to practice any religion they wanted. You know, they really were just kind of left alone by the communists and the Soviets coming through, because they were so proud of their culture, so proud of their heritage, and it was able to be preserved through that entire process. And then, of course, if you want to go after the cruise, we have Prague in the Czech Republic. City of spires. Per capita, people drink more beer than water here. It's a fantastic place, lots of stories. And the cool thing about these destinations is your neighbors probably haven't been there. So when you're talking to your neighbor and you're like, oh yeah, we went to Prague in the Czech Republic, they're gonna be like, what? And it's such a cool place, you will enjoy it. So lots of unique destinations, lots of opportunities to cruise. I highlighted just 2 of the 4 groups that they have going with them. And I can't wait for you guys to jump on board. So thank you for being here. Thank you for taking the time to hear everything that we had to say. I'm sure your brains are almost melted with the amount of information we've given you. There's lots of brochures and written material so that you can take notes. And then lastly, we have some time for Q&A. You can hop up here if you want, for both Rocky Mountaineer and for AmaWaterways. But I know a few of you are going to wake up in the middle of the night tonight and be like, hey, honey, I forgot to ask that question. Who do you go to? Who do you talk to? Your favorite travel advisors over here in the corner, okay? They're going to be with you. They're going to be able to do all the logistics and all the details to get you guys booked on your dream vacation. So I'll go ahead and open it up to some Q&A right now, again, for either AmaWaterways or for Rocky Mountaineer. Yes?
Cruises for singles. I'm a solo traveler. I don't want to be involved with shit.
Sure, yeah, I get that.
So, when we just got off a cruise, I had to pay double in order to have value.
With AmaWaterways, solo travelers will never pay double. Real fast, I'll explain what we're talking about. The pricing you see in the brochure is based on double occupancy, right? Let's use nice round figures. This in no way represents the pricing of our cruises, but let's say a room costs $10,000. The price you see in the brochure is per person, $5,000, $5,000. If a single traveler is going, the value of that room is $10,000. What we can promise you as a solo traveler is you will never pay double. The most you'll ever pay is 1.5. If you're a solo traveler, I recommend you ask them to pull up a list of all the cruises that we offer a solo supplement waive. So you go for the same price as if you were in that room with someone else. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So definitely some flexibility, a lot more solo travelers. We want to make sure that you're getting out there.
Last year, though, we're not.
That's not cool. We don't like that. Yeah. Okay, a couple of questions up here. Yes.
What is the average age?
Average age of AmaWaterways, interestingly enough, is 59. I think that that number is drawn down just a little bit because we allow children on board our ships. Now, you're not going to have gangs of urchins roaming the halls at 2 a.m. in the morning, waking you up like the oceans, okay? 1 out of every 10 cruises has a kid on it. And the average age of that kid is 13, 14. They're well behaved, well traveled, they work well with adults. If you have a family and you want a kids program, Adventures by Disney, they contract with us and they use us for their cruises. So again, we do allow children, multi-gen, right? Grandma, grandpa want to take the kids and the kids on a Christmas cruise. That's a great opportunity to spend some serious time with family. Did I answer your question? I had another question up here. Yes, sir.
Just a comment that my wife and I and family have done a Christmas cruise on, I think, Amadeus at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But that ship is no longer probably.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, at any rate, the best thing that happened was the lack of crowds
Mm-hmm.
at Christmas time.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of 4 ships all breasted out at every stop, it was us.
Not too many tourists in the wintertime. Yeah.
That was just.
Thank you.
Great.
Final question for Ama, and then let's throw some to Rocky Mountaineer. Yes. Accessibility. So river cruising in general is not conducive to wheelchair access. Fortunately, Europe doesn't have the ADA, right? The ships themselves, we require individuals to be able to go up or down 1 flight of stairs on their own, or with the assistance of a family member. For insurance and liability reasons, our crew, our staff cannot carry them up or down. Reason being, safety. Okay, we do have an elevator on board the ship, but if the ship sinks, the ship's going to go down and sit in the mud 10 feet down there, and everyone gets up on the sun deck and drinks champagne while we wait for someone to help us. Okay, so you have to be able to get up to the sun deck in an emergency. And then, of course, the motor coaches, they have to get up on the motor coaches, et cetera, et cetera. So if somebody's wheelchair bound, I might not recommend river cruising, any river cruise for them. Ocean cruising would be their best bet. Did I answer your question? All right, any questions for Rocky Mountaineer?
What is the
I'll
time
let you
frame
take
you need to spend off the train in the city?
Say that again?
The time frame you need to spend off the train.
In the city? That's a really good question. She asked how much time do you have off the train to explore? Depends on your package. Sometimes you could have pre and post full days. When you're going into Glenwood Springs, you're going to get there probably around 6:30 at night, and then you're going to board at 7 a.m. the next morning. So you will have some time to do the hot springs or walk around town, grab dinner again if you're hungry. Moab, you're going to have a lot more time. We get there around 2:30, so you will have time to do at least 2 excursions, and you don't board until 12:30 the next day, which is when we did our Hummer tour. And then in the Canadian Rockies, Kamloops, you're overnight. You get there quite late. You will maybe have time for dinner, but you're going to be tired. And then you'll have plenty of time in Vancouver, Lake Louise, Jasper, Banff, and then down to Calgary. Really, it's just the overnights that you don't have a huge amount of time, but you definitely have enough to do a few things. And I have to say, I was today years old when I learned the Santa story. I had no idea. I just thought Santa was always red and white. I think that is so cool.
I see somebody mouthing the word pricing with AmaWaterways. So if you're interested in getting a quote, again, talk to these ladies. I was remiss in not mentioning that we have promotions going on for the 2 cruises. And there is a little bit of a time piece to that. So if you want to do the Christmas thing in 2027, if you deposit, that's just $400 per person. If you deposit by the end of October, which is in 2 weeks, you're going to save $1,250 per person.
Yeah.
In addition to that, any kind of AmaWaterways cruise that you book with these 2 ladies in the next month, you'll get an additional courtesy. Again, thank you for being here tonight. Complimentary gratuities. So you literally do not have to spend any money when you're sailing with us. So that's about a $240 per person value, and you don't have to tip the buses, you don't have to tip the local guides, you don't have to tip the people on the ship. I'm happy to extend that to you, again, if you book in the next 4 weeks. And then the other promotion for the Colors of Provence, $250 off per person and complimentary gratuities as well. So again, very rich incentives, and you guys will have advantage because you're here, and you know your friends and family, they're not here, so they're not going to be able to take advantage of that. But again, if you're looking for quotes or pricing, talk to these gals here. Final question for Rocky Mountaineer, and then we'll hand it over to our hosts.
Well, I have something I did forget to share. We also are family friendly. We just say we don't have a no kids policy. We have a know your child policy. So kids that travel with us are usually a little bit more savvy travelers. We do not have Wi-Fi on board by design. We don't want you looking at your tablets. We don't want you on your phone. You're on there to have an experience with us, and we want you to completely embrace that. And the other thing I forgot to mention is we really only travel April to November in the United States and April through October in the Canadian product. So we just had our last run last week.
All right, thank you, everyone. We'll bring the ladies up. I think we're
So I just wanted to give you guys, since a lot of you are new, we don't know you, we just want to give you a little bit of a short introduction. So I'm Cindi Sanden, like I told you earlier. I'm the owner of Awaken Travels. I've owned this travel agency for over a decade. I've traveled all over the world. I've done river cruises. I've done over, I don't know, a lot of cruises and stuff like that. We do, I mean, I love Rocky Mountaineer and AmaWaterways, but we do everything. If it is travel, we book it. Flights, hotels, cruises, destination weddings. I even book flights for Hope for Kids International, so I do missionary trips. Anything travel-wise, we're able to help you with that. And then our hosted groups, that's something new that Denise and I just started. A lot of people don't like traveling to strange places, you know, without somebody there to make sure that they are safe and that they have everything taken care of. So we've started hosting our own groups, and that's what I'm going to France next year. And then we're also, I'm going to be doing one in Colombia because my husband wants to go there. So we're going to go do the Colombia River Cruise with AmaWaterways. Denise is doing her Christmas one. And then we're going to go to Portugal and Spain as well in 2027. And I also have a team of, how many of us are there now? 10 of us. So there's other hosted journeys. We're also doing some Alaska cruises on the big ships. Yours is in July?
Mine's in June.
Okay, June.
Yeah.
Mine's in June too. So we both have a hosted Alaska cruise next year too.
Different cruise lines.
Yeah, different cruise lines.
cruise
So,
lines.
so anyways, I just wanted to let you guys know that, and then Denise is going to tell you our
And
little.
then we have, David and I are taking a group on Rocky Mountaineer. Big 5 that you were talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing that. We're
Whoa,
excited. I've not
so
been to those
fun.
5, so we're a little excited about that.
Amazing.
Yeah. And then if you, thank you guys so much for coming tonight, but if you decide to use us for your travel agency within the next, you want to honor it for a month like Carson is?
Sure.
We'll honor for a month like Carson did. If you choose to do that, Cindi and I will give you a $100 Visa card for also booking with us. So another incentive. I have clients in the room that were recipients of that last year. So that was kind of nice. Yeah.
Does anybody have any questions before we just do the raffle about anything travel related?
Where's your office? If we were-
So we work from home, so we'll meet you at a coffee shop or wherever you want. I live in Saudi Daisy, and
I live in Lakeside. I do have the same clients. I've been to their home countless times. We will come to your house and help you book excursions or whatever you need to do. We will come to your home. So, yeah. Or we can meet you at
or
whatever
coffee shop.
works.
Yeah,
Yeah,
whatever
coffee shop.
works for you, or online, or a call, or yeah.
Yeah, whatever works. Any other questions?
Did we get everybody's raffle tickets?
Yes. Now it's time for the raffle. Okay, I'll
Here,
grab
grab
the
the bucket. You gonna do this, David? I was told. Carson, did you see what your prize was? Oh.
I just need to read it. I will send it.
Okay. And then you explained yours already.
I did.
Kristen,
That, yeah.
Should we wait?
Can you tell I used to run a foundation? Yeah. So we Yes.
All right, hang on a second.
I like this basket.
Is that okay with Carson? Can we give away the rest of the stuff?
Yeah, the stars.
Yeah?
Turn this
I was
off.
gonna say, where are the scarves?
They're outside. Bye, everybody.